Hi, my name is Aisha H. of Blue Rose Pixels Photography and Design, and today I'm going to show you guys a quick tutorial on how you can just quickly go and digitally manipulate an image. And I'm going to do this using Photoshop, Adobe CS5 version. And before I begin, I'm using a Mac and I want to hold down Command, Option, and Shift. I'm going to open up Photoshop while I'm holding those down. And it's going to ask me, do I want to delete my Adobe Photoshop setting files? And I'm going to click yes. What this do is basically just shift it back to default, deleting whatever settings I was using the previous time that I used Photoshop. So from that, I'm going to select my images that I want to use. And I'm going to go in Bridge to do this. Now the images I'm going to use, I take no credit for them. They're not my images. They actually can be found in this Adobe Photoshop CS5 book that shows you how to do these exact things that I'm going to show you. I just want to give you guys a visual of how to do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this original image right here. And as you can see, there's this background. His glasses have this brownish color, and his head is forward. What I want to do is I want to take that same image and I want it to look like this. I'm going to change the background. I want to tilt his head back. I'm going to change the color of his glasses. In a later video, I will also show you how to create a shadow for him. We're not going to do that today, though. So, going to my original image, I'm going to just double click this and it will open in Photoshop. I'm going to zoom in, not that much. Then I'm going to take my quick selection tool. It's called quick selection because that's exactly what it does. It quickly selects whatever you are trying to select in the image. I'm going to start at a particular point and just drag it along, selecting all of the parts of the objects that I want to select. Now right here, I selected a part that I don't want. So I'm going to use the minus sign, which this you can just go around to areas that you did not want selected and delete them. So there you go. Now I'm going to create what is called a mask, and I'm just going to click mask here, and then I'm going to click this button to create a new mask. What that does, it eliminates all of the portions of the image that is not selected. So only my model was selected, so he's the only portion that is still visible. And you can always go back and alter anything that you want by going back in there and taking the mask off, disabling the mask. Okay, so now I'm going to open up my background. Now you can see that there are still portions of the original background there, and all of his hair didn't make it into the image. So we can quickly adjust that by clicking on Mask Edge. I'm going to change the view to on black. By changing the view on black, you can see the parts of the elements that you want to go and alter. The first thing I want to do is I want to adjust the edge of this. This adjusts the edge, eliminating parts of the background that might still be showing. So I'm just going to smooth out the edge some to make it look more natural. Not too much. I'm going to bump up the contrast. You can also type in what you want. Now you can see his nose change drastically. And then I'm going to shift the edge some. I'm going to shift this to just like a positive 16. And then I'm going to select this little button here. I'm going to make sure that the output creates a new layer with the layer mask. And I'm going to click OK. I'm going to hide this background. I'm going to go back into Mask Edge because remember, all of his hair didn't show up in the selection. So now I want to bring his hair back. So using the Refine Radius tool, I'm just going to go around to these areas and try to bring his hair back. You see that? It just brings back the portions of his hair that were lost. And as you can see, the white background appears to be showing. Now I want to make this a little smaller and go around these edges and bring back all of his hair. Now what this can also do is it can eliminate some of these areas where I don't want to show, like this around his nose. So I'll go back and I'll bring this down some, making it smaller, and I'll just go around there. And you see it just takes it right out. You don't have to get so perfect with this, just for the sake of this being a quick tutorial. See, I accidentally got some of his glasses. And for these smaller areas, I'm going to make that just a little bit smaller and go around there. And it'll just eliminate some of that out. You could just do this all the way around until you're satisfied with the image. You want to get some of those finer pieces of hair that got taken out. Just bump that up some. And in this area, I could just make it a little bit smaller and get into there and take some of that out. So now I want to, some of my background showed up, original background showed up. So I want to just change this by pushing the Option key and clicking, and it turns it into eraser. Now I can just go around some of the parts and double click that twice, and it will eliminate some of that background. Not as good as I want, but you know, this is just a tutorial here. So now I'm going to decombinate the colors, and I'm going to change this to 85, and it makes it a bit darker, and then I push OK. So now that's how that looks. Now I'm going to take these two original layers, and I'm going to hold down Command and select the two of them and just either push the delete button on my keyboard or click delete layers. It'll ask me, do I want to click delete? I'm going to say yes. And so now I just have this one layer. I'm going to change the name by double clicking it. I'm going to call him a model. So now zooming out. Now I told you I wanted to tilt his head back and I wanted to change the color of his glasses. So we're going to move on to that. To tilt his head back, I'm going to go into making sure this layer is selected. I'm going to go to Edit and Puppet Warp. This is going to create a mesh-like around his body, mesh-like web around his body. Now I'm going to place these thumbtacks, and what these thumbtacks do is hold all the portions of the image that I don't want to alter still. So I only want to move his head, and I don't want his shirt to shift or become warp or anything. So I'm just going to go all around the edges of his shirt and place my thumbtacks. This will assure that his shirt remains still. Now, this black dot, wherever the last place the black dot is the part where you're going to edit. Since I want his head to move, I'm going to put the black dot here. And you can just move the black dot just by clicking wherever it is that you want. And say if you put too many thumbtacks, you can just push delete and it'll delete the last one. So I want to move his head, so I'm going to click there. Now holding down my Option key on my keyboard, rotation is going to appear. And I could just take my mouse, and when those two arrows appear, and I could start rotating. And as you can see, I rotated his head all the way back. Another way to rotate it is just to go in here and type what you want. I want his head to be tilted at a 90-degree angle, so I'm just going to click 90. And then I will push Commit. And as you can see now, his head is tilted. It's slightly tilted, where his now appears to be looking up. I want to change this glasses color now. And to do this, I'm going to change my edit mode. We're going to go into edit and quick mask mode. This is sort of like the last thing we did when we used the quick selection tool to select him out of the image. This is just a quicker way of doing it. So in quick mask mode, I'm going to go to the paintbrush tool. And I'm going to zoom in some. And I'm just going to go all around his glasses to select his glasses. You don't have to get too neat with this, but you want to be a little neat, because everywhere that this red color appears, don't worry, we're not painting his glasses red, but everywhere that this red color appears, it will be selected. And I'll show you what I mean. To go out of this mode, you just go back to edit in standard mode. Now you see I got kind of sloppy there, but anyway, all of this area is selected, and that's basically all the area I want to change the color of. So now you will go into select and you will inverse the selection. Then you will move on to image, adjustments, and hue and saturation. I'm going to move this over some so you can see exactly what is happening here. With the preview mode selected, you will see exactly what has happened. If you don't select it, you won't see the changes until after they're made. And I'll give you an example. So if I'm doing it like this, we can see what's happening. But if I was to deselect it, I can't see what is happening until I push OK. So I don't want his glasses green. So I'm going to go back, go into adjustment, hue and saturation. Select preview so that you can see what's happening. And then you're just going to shift the hue. You can shift the saturation too if you want to make the color deeper. So maybe if we want to make this a deeper pinkish purplish color, we'll just shift that. And there you go. That's a cute color. So now you want to zoom out, and then you can push Command and D, and there you have it. We just quickly digitally manipulated and altered this image. We changed the color of his glasses. We shifted his head back, and we gave him a new background. And that was just so simple, and anyone can do that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to email me. And you can email me at Blue Rose, and I spelled blue B-L-U, not B-L-U-E, so that's not a typo. Blue Rose Pixels at hotmail.com. I'll just make that a little bigger, just so you can see it better. Blue Rose Pixels at hotmail.com. You can also like my Facebook page at Facebook.com/Blue Rose Pixels. There I am, Blue Rose Pixels Photography and Design. Don't forget to like me. And guys, here's what I did to the image for my digital manipulation class. This is the final that I had turned in. So you see I added another little thing there, made his glasses green, gave him a shadow, changed his background. So once again, I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to like me on Facebook at Facebook Blue Rose /Blue Rose Pixels, or email me at bluerosepixels@hotmail.com. Thank you.